Okay, definitely got stuff to talk about or ask questions about to keep working on this idea of like the tapping, songwriting or solo writing, knowing the fretboard better, things like that. Um, now I think about it, let's actually take a look at this whole thing. So basically, when you do have it memorized, I do want you to send in a video showing it. This way, we just play it safe, make sure everything is good. So yeah, just using those 3-note per string scale shapes. So starting with that open E string, basically we got the E Phrygian shape. F Lydian. G Mixolydian. The A Aeolian or the natural minor scale. B Locrian. C Ionian or C major scale. The D Dorian shape. And then we also got E Phrygian once more, an octave higher. So using those shapes, but when practicing it, starting with tap, pull off, hammer on. And then going down the shape, we go tap, pull off, tap, pull, pull. Just going up one shape at a time and then down. I believe I resolved to that C note. I did not. I resolved it to the A. Either one would work fine. But yeah, that's just to get it memorized. So, as I've mentioned in that last email, no speed, no specific speed is necessary for it. You just no metronome is necessary. Just like what I did there, I sped up and slowed down. So that's fine because the goal is memorization and getting you more comfortable with seeing the fretboard while tapping. Okay. So with this, I was putting the chord names up there again, or the arpeggio names, to help you think about, you know, those chords along with the tapping. And I'm going to be using the first progression you gave or demonstrated in the guitar profile coming up. But yeah, so A minor 7. And I can't remember if you already answered this one, but you may have told me a while ago. I can't remember. If you could remind me, do you understand this chord theory stuff? Like, what minor 7, major 7, dominant 7, half diminished 7, also known as minor 7 flat 5. Just things like that. Your chord theory, difference between major, minor, diminished, augmented. Like suspended seconds, suspended fours. So obviously different types of seventh chords, like add nines, full ninth chords, things like that. Let me know. Let me know. And that can help give even more ideas for stuff. Yeah, basically, you're going to be playing Uh-oh, I think I tabbed something out wrong. I did. I did. Oh my goodness. I'm tabbing things out incorrectly. That needs to be that. This needs to be this. And then this guy. That needs to be, yeah, 16 and 12. Not 14. And then this also needs to be 12. Okay. So basically what we got here. So your index finger is going to be hitting the root note for everything. So there's your minor third. There's the fifth. So we're starting with, though, the seventh, or in this case, the minor seventh. So obviously the minor seventh, well, maybe not obviously, because I don't know what you know. So the minor seventh chord, we have the minor seventh intervals, or flat seven. Also, the dominant seven has a flat seventh interval. The major seventh chord has a major seventh interval. So basically what we're doing is tapping first the flat seven, in this case, or the minor seven, and then pull off, tap, pull off, and then we hit the fifth interval after that. That twice. And then same frets for the E minor 7. So yeah, that symbol, little percentage looking thing, that means play the previous bar again. We gotta get a bigger stretch with that fretting hand to get the C major 7. And then this G dominant 7. And then finish off by hitting that A note down there. Okay, and yeah, break it down into as many pieces as you need to. So maybe just work on... that kind of thing. So the first arpeggio into the first notes of the next one. So just working on that by itself. Great idea. Those kinds of things. And then start putting 2 arpeggios together. And you can do 3. And then, of course, all of it together. So yeah, break it down into as many pieces as you need. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. One E. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. .240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, listening to the strumming pattern that you did, I did like a little tap tempo thing, and it seemed like it was around 153 according to Guitar Pro. Obviously, put this at whatever tempo the song is, or whatever you want, really. And then I used quarter notes for the chords instead of trying to actually tab out the specific rhythm. it seemed like he had a count of basically like the beats, just from like a 1, 2. Change that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Oops, wrong chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, sorry. Something. The phone just turned on over there and caught my eye and screwed me up. But anyway, there's something like that. And it was much more intricate strumming pattern that you did. But I wanted to have that in Guitar Pro to actually put something to it with with some tapping, and what I started with here. Scroll down a little bit because I want to show the chord names while going over this. So, keeping in mind, I just started like very basic as far as putting this together. E major 7 chord. Well, started with an E major 7 arpeggio. And then, of course, well, I keep saying of course as if you would know. I don't know if you know. So we're going into, we start with that E major 7 arpeggio right there. This just sounded good to me, so 9th interval there. Basically, just that led up well to this G sharp. And then after that, keeping in mind that when we throw in that C sharp 7, and I wrote this out too because the music I listen to in solo over whatnot, the outside chord thing doesn't happen very often. It's usually more straightforward, and it's basically, this is the key, this is what you're soloing over, go nuts kind of thing. But I wanted to think about it from something that you might solo over. That's another thing. If you can send me, if you have a recording of it, or if you could make a recording of it, you soloing over this chord progression. I think that might be helpful too. And also, if you can actually record like how many times this thing is done, or like or program it into Guitar Pro yourself, that would be cool too. And it would speed things up for this kind of thing. So yeah, it'd be really helpful. Anyway, so yeah, with the C sharp 7 there, getting that F natural note in there. Although technically it's not F natural, in this case would be considered E sharp. But anyway, that note coming into play there. So when we were going up, we had that F sharp, but then when the C sharp 7 comes in, we wanted to take that, or I wanted to take that and bring it down a half step so it fits that C sharp 7. So basically kind of shifting the key, because I'm thinking, all right, C sharp 7, now it's basically C sharp Mixolydian that you're in, and kind of thought of it that way, and just put some things that sounded good to me. And getting rhythmic with it as well, to give you ideas of what you can do with the tapping. Yeah, so go up, tap, and then we gotta get our left hand in place here. Whoop. Good again. So that's the first 2 bars. I haven't really practiced this, so I'm going to be making plenty of mistakes. And so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and a 4. That's what we got going on there for the first part. And then So for the G sharp minor 7 part, and throughout the rest, so I'm jumping up here. Obvious first note, the G sharp. So we're tapping on the ones. We got 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Okay, that phone needs to stop. I always have it faced up in case my wife is trying to call me if there's some kind of an emergency when she's at work. Sorry. Yeah, tapping there on beat number 1. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... So that's the first bar when the G sharp minor 7 comes in. And then it's really like 3 fast little things here. So we're going to tap 12, pull off, hammer on, and then tap the 14, pull off, hammer on, tap the 16, pull off, hammer on. So it's still just a 9 and 11 down there. And then at the very end, pull off to the 9th fret there. I thought that sounded nice, going back into that E major 7. Which would actually be just the 6th interval there, wouldn't it? Yep, it'd be the 6th interval. And it just seemed to fit nice to my ear. And that's usually what I'm thinking of, when I'm doing any kind of improvisation stuff, is being more concerned with what sounds good versus what do I have to use. So, something that, I don't know if you think about it that way, but that's how I think about it. Like, what sounds good? That's the most important thing to me. I don't really... Sometimes I'll be concerned with, well, what chords are being used, or what notes do I need to... What notes might help things sound better, versus what notes do I have to play, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. But yeah, that little fast bit there. So we're practicing without a metronome. It's just really fast. Just tap, pull, hammer, dun, 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 dun. We got that there. I'm going to try playing this at the 60 here. I'm going to have a count-in set for Guitar Pro and then play along with the chords as well. Actually, okay, I just got to remember it's 153 is the original tempo. Set it to whatever the song is or what you want it to be. The main thing here is I just want to give you some ideas on how to be creative, make lead lines or solo stuff with some tapping, not constant tapping, but just like sprinkle it in. Double check the volume on this. Let's do that again. Check the metronome volume. Sure that's loud enough. Let's do it again. Let's go up to 80. I'm contemplating changing that note there then. Well, that would sound better. Let me try that. Wait a minute. 14, not 13. Let me try that. God, I gotta remember to do that now. Alright, let's try it again. Back to the other way. Sorry, I just want to make this sound good. I was kind of questioning that last note there. That still works. Yeah. All right. Sometimes I overthink this stuff. I often overthink this stuff. Like when I'm trying to write something that I want it to sound good, I'll spend a ridiculous amount of time just agonizing over every little note. 100. Let's try 120. $40. And back to 153. There we go. Just some ideas that hopefully you like the sound of there. Feel free to do whatever you want with it, you know, coming up with your own tapping stuff. But yeah, you can make recordings of you playing the progression, like how long it is in your band, video or audio of you playing your solo with it. I think that would be good. And yeah, if you can tab stuff out in the Guitar Pro, so we can share things back and forth, that would help out a bunch. And I think that about covers it. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything, though. I think that's everything that was talked about. We'll check out the other solo next time, most likely, unless something else comes up. But yeah, we'll check out the one the keyboard player solo's over. Yep, that looks like everything. Okay, any questions come up, let me know, and I'll see you again in your new videos.